o'clock. So we got lots of stuff we want to cover tonight. Just as a point of interest, everybody over here is doing pretty well. You're
Doing
feeling
well.
good?
I'm back. I'm back to walking 2 miles a day.
Yep.
And my knees are feeling better all the time, and just
Leonard Davis says hi.
feeling pretty good.
And the weather is finally summertime is here, I think.
Yeah. Or at least springtime.
Yep. And
JC's here.
hey, JC. So Vicki and I just spent a couple of days up in Pine Top, Arizona. Had a blast staying at a condo up there. Due to my sisters, Renee and Vicki, they kind of worked that out and sent us some really cool flowers and candy and stuff. Anyway, it was kind of a birthday together, and they sent all those flowers and candy and stuff. So
Very nice.
yeah, we had a great
Thanks,
time.
girls.
Yeah, we had a great time, and while
I did too. I was here all by myself.
it was a vacation for you too. Then. Yeah. We had a chance to meet with some people while we were up there. Gene and Phyllis Howe live right out of Pine Top. They live over in Snowflake, and we had a really nice lunch with them. And it happened to be their 48th wedding anniversary, which was really cool. Yeah, he's got and Gene has a website. And he's a master woodworker, makes some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Signs, but also boxes and gift boxes and whiskey boxes and just
You
incredible
want to mention
stuff.
his website, or do you know it?
You know what? I put it in, where did I put it?
Somewhere
I
where
will-
it's safe.
I will put it in the description of this website, of this video, because I have it.
Yeah, you might as well, you know, if he wants to see what he's doing, you might as well be able to.
He does great
go
stuff.
see it.
Great stuff. But anyway, Gene and Phyllis, if you're listening, thank you so much for a wonderful lunch. We had a great time. It was a blast. So that was that. A couple little announcements. If you guys were watching last week, we talked about the Empathy wine stuff that we're making. If you didn't watch, we're making a line of Empathy wine products through a special cooperation with Empathy Wine and Gary V. Anyway, we've got 10 different products, and we talked about it last week. We'll be talking about it more. We'll be talking about it more. But basically, if and I just threw this out because I wanted you guys to be aware of it first. If you buy all 10 products, it's about a $380 value. You get it for $350, and we purchase for you a case of Empathy wine, which is worth $240. Last week we mentioned, the reason I'm even bringing this up is last week we mentioned that you would be responsible for the tax, but that is incorrect. The taxes have already been paid, and the shipping. There's no shipping on that wine. There is $8 shipping on this stuff. On anything we sell, there's $8 shipping, but there's no shipping if you decide to buy the set and you want a case of wine. There's no shipping charge. Obviously, 48, there's about 6 states that we can't ship to, and I don't know what they are right now, but if you have any questions on it, email me or email Vic. Anyway, I wanted to get that straight. No shipping, no taxes on the wine part of it if you buy the whole set. So that's out of the way.
And no taxes on the product from us, but
Correct.
we do charge $8 shipping.
Correct. That is correct. So if you haven't noticed, we have new hats. We just got them back from the hat people. These are embroidered. They're actually not labeled,
Not printed.
not iron on. They're actually embroidered, custom embroidered. Great place down in Phoenix that did them for us.
Edward wants to know how much for the set.
The set of Empathy stuff.
I'm
The set of 10 different products is $350 for the set. Again, 10 different products with a bunch of glasses, all kinds of stuff. But
It cost you, really, considering the case of wine is $240,
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap.
If you're
And
a
you
wine
don't-
drinker.
You don't pay for the wine. We buy that as a gift for you if you buy the set.
So this is the second version of our hat, blue with black embroidery, and we love them. I think they're.
I like the black and white one, but that's
I don't know. I
me.
really like this blue.
Somebody asked, what's the name of the other name from or the name for the other side of our business?
The parent company is Dave Signs, and then there's divisions of Dave Signs. Make a Wood Sign, like makeawoodsign.com, and then there's a new division that we started a little while ago, but not too many people know of it. It's AZ Craft Shack. That is actually the division that we will be running all of these wine products through. They are available on Make a Wood Sign, but we'll really be driving some advertising and Instagram stuff through the AZ Craft Shack division.
Didn't Vicky say that she was setting up a special place on the website for it? You
Yeah.
I've already got it on the website under wine products.
did? Wine product. That's what I was. That's what I was referring
So it's
to.
available right now through Make a Wood Sign, any of the products, but it very soon will be available through AZ Craft Shack as well. And we'll talk more about that. We've got an Etsy store, and that will be up and running. We already have the Etsy store, but these wine products will be in that Etsy store probably within a week. Anyway, so we're getting ready to launch it over on that side of the business. Anyway, the hats, we now have them in stock, some. They are $4.95 if you're interested in the hats.
That's not too bad for something that's really embroidered in. It's,
For custom embroidered,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, not bad.
And they are a really, really good quality hat. Really good product. We're going to give away one of these hats. Whichever one you want, we're going to give it away at the end of the broadcast tonight. Be asking a trivia
We
question.
have no problem on this end with our live. Everything looks fine, so you might want to exit out and then come back in if you're having problems. Ours is clear as a bell.
Am I moving too fast in front of the camera? Okay.
somebody said they're having problems.
Somebody says we need to upgrade our live.
Yeah. Well, we're out.
We're not video people.
We're out in the middle of nowhere. We've got the best internet available out here right now. It's the best we can get. Actually, we have two different services. Anyway, it's a long story. But sorry, guys, if it's not good. That's what we got right now. We're working on a different system, but we haven't got it set up yet. Okay, next announcement. In case you guys didn't hear, Vicky and I are going to Alaska on the 26th of this month. And as we come through Seattle Airport, we're going to be doing a meetup for anybody that wants to meet with us from about 11:15 to 12:15. We should have about an hour window where we can hang out if you guys happen to be in the area of Seattle Airport, SeaTac. So if you guys have any questions on that, you know how to get a hold of us.
No, we did that. You and I did that a couple of years ago.
When we went up a
to
couple of years
Alaska.
ago. Yep.
Yeah, we met with some really nice people up in Seattle.
Yep. Yes, we did. So that was fun. So hopefully, somebody up there has got some time and will meet with us. It'll be fun. Okay, so the next thing that I haven't talked about on any videos lately is the channel search. We're going to go into our real demo and talking about stuff here in a minute. But in case you guys don't know what the channel search is, if you go to our main YouTube channel, which is Old Dave 100, had a glare on it, Old Dave 100, you will see, it will look like this, and you will see this. It's a little magnifier. And that, if you click on that, a window will come up, and you can type in whatever you want, whatever, either a number of a video, or you can type in a subject. Let's say it's finishing, or it's scalloping, or it's outset letters, or it's types of wood, whatever. You can type that into that subject. That's a channel search. Now, if you use the main YouTube window up here, you're searching all of YouTube. But if you use this one, it's just our 900 plus videos on our channel. So that's how when you guys email me and ask me about a video on profile bits or whatever, that's how I find it, is just through there. Now, if you're on a phone, a smartphone, then you won't find this. What you need to do is type in Old Dave 100, then the subject that you're looking for. So it's OLDAVE 100, and then you would type in profile bit or outset letters. That's the way you search if you're doing it on a smartphone. This is the way you do it if you're on a PC or a laptop.
All right. Natalie asked, what link do you click on to buy a hat on the website? It's not on the website yet, Natalie. It will be by the end of the weekend, but you'll go to makeawoodsign.com, sign carving supplies, and then you go look in merchandise. It will be under merchandise. Sorry.
Okay. Good question. Okay, so
Why isn't it there now? Just because they're so new?
Because we hadn't introduced them yet,
Huh.
and then
yeah,
we've got
okay.
the old ones on there, but they're not available anymore.
Okay.
yeah.
I just need
So they'll be on there soon.
Okay, for those again, if we're out of focus, we're sorry. It's the best we've got. We're doing what we can. So go close it out and then come back in. It might get better.
Okay. Hopefully it will get better. We want to talk about router bits. I get questions all the time. How many signs can you carve before your router bit gets dull? There's so many different factors. How deep you're going, what kind of wood, the moisture content in the wood, what bit it is. There's a lot of different factors that come into play. But as a general rule, you will have a certain amount of hours that you use a router bit. But how that can be really deterred, or what am I trying to say? How that can be really affected is if whatever you're cutting, if your router bit ends up getting pitch or ends up getting dirty. Let me show you a picture. If your router bit, and I don't know whether this is going to show up. So this is
I see it just fine. Some people are still saying it's blurry.
this is the router bit that I used on that last sign that I did, the Countryside Workshop, when I was cutting the grooves in that. And it's also the one I used when I cut those chisels out. But if your router bits, bottom line is, if your router bits get dirty and they get kind of built up with stuff. I had an email from a gentleman the other day that he cuts through paper and tape. So he takes 3S77 and sticks it down on the board and then puts packing tape over the top. And what happens is that builds up on his router bit, and you need to clean those like constantly. If you see any buildup on your router bit, you got to get it clean right away. And now we'll tell you why. Why is that?
Why is that? Well, the more you have buildup on your router bit, the more heat you get. And the hotter it gets, the more it melts stuff, and it just builds up on your router bit. And once it's built up, then your router bit may seem to be dull, but it really isn't. It's just dirty. It's just not cutting the way it should because it's not clean. So show them that router bit you got over there.
See, if they can't see this picture. So what happened was that this is a picture of this router bit. And I know you guys know how we clean our router bits because we talked about it many, many times. We use a brass wheel and a little Dremel tool. That's the way we do it. What?
I'm just pointing
Okay.
out so they can see
So
it.
we use a brass wheel and a Dremel, but there are a lot of different ways to do it. So if you don't have a brass wheel for your Dremel, here's another really fast way to do it, and how I did this one today. Literally, hot soapy water and a little brass wire brush. This is brass. I think we got this in a set at Harbor Freight for a few bucks.
Yeah.
So it's
two or
just
$3 item.
it's just a little brass, and literally hot soapy water like dish soap, and I just scrubbed it. It took 30 seconds, and it came out absolutely pristine.
And the brass can't make any difference on the carbide. Brass is so much softer, and it won't affect the carbide at all.
So the other aspect of why you don't want buildup is, and you've told me this in the past, that heat is, other than hitting foreign objects, heat is about the worst it gets. The faster that edge is going to dull. Not only that is if you build up stuff behind the edge, whether it's this bit or some other bit, then what happens is you don't have the clearance for that edge to be a leading edge, and then what happens is that will build up more heat. You'll be rubbing as this makes its cut, as this cuts, it'll be rubbing on the back side of that because now there's not clearance. So there's lots of different reasons. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely.
So there's lots of different reasons to keep your router bits clean. And the biggest reason is they'll get dull faster. So, and they may even feel like they are dull when in fact they're just dirty. So
now, if you have a Dremel or even a little brush, after you make a cut, after you finish cutting a letter, cutting a sign, just take this. All it takes is 10 seconds to touch your router bit on both sides of the cutting edge, and you got a clean router bit again. And the more you do that, the longer your router bit's going to last.
And especially if you're cutting a wood that has sap in it, if it's got a lot of moisture in it, and even more so if you're cutting through paper and glue and tape, all that stuff builds up. I've cut acrylic, and after 10 or 15 seconds of cutting acrylic, it will stick to that bit, and you got to clean it off. You just have to. You know, because you're going to create more heat and you're going to get dull faster. So if you're cutting again through paper and tape and glue, you're watching your bit. If you see any buildup at all, clean it. Now I know that because I sharpen router bits that I get from you guys, especially premium members, you guys have heard me ask this of you to clean those router bits before you send them to me, because if you don't, then I have to clean them, and I'll do it. It's not a problem. But I know for a fact that you guys are, a lot of you guys, and premium members especially, a lot of you guys are cutting with router bits and they've got gunk all over them. They've got buildup all over them. And the fact is, they may not be dull, and you're sending them in prematurely. And every time we sharpen them, that lessens the life of that bit because it gets narrower and narrower and narrower. So the more material we take off that bit, it shortens the life of that bit overall. So you're better off cleaning them on a regular basis. Otherwise, you're shortening the life of that bit.
Yeah, if you think it's dull, look at it carefully. If it's dirty, clean it, and you'd be surprised where you think it's dull and really it's not dull at all. It just needs to be cleaned. So
now, one other way that you'll know that it's dull is if you go and watch, and this is where that channel search comes into play. If you go watch Coffee and Questions 12, 13, 17, I think I poked a hole in my finger with that brass brush. 12, 13, 17, I did a video, Vicki and I did a video where we really showed how you tell whether your bits are truly dull. And this is after they're clean. And after they're clean, then you can look at them. Now, Dad has a certain way of testing. My way is you look at them, and I know this picture is probably not going to show up very well, but if you look at them and you see a shiny right on the edge, chances are that edge is rounded over and it's dull. That's what, but you can see the bit is clean, and chances are it's dull. Now, how do you know?
well, mine is a machinist trick that I learned 60 years ago. If you take a sharp bit and you know it's sharp, and you just drag it across your thumbnail or your fingernail, matter, but you drag it so that you've got the got the leading edge or the sharp edge, just drag it across your fingernail. If it digs in, that is, if it feels like it uh, wants to drag a little burr off of your fingernail, I mean it's sharp.
Which
If
it did there. I can see
yeah,
it curling.
yeah, this is pretty sharp because it'll actually just drag something off your fingernail. You can't see it on the camera. But
Yeah.
if it's dull, you might as well be using this. It's nice and smooth across your thumbnail.
Oh.
So if it digs in and not putting pressure on it, but if it digs in and drags on your thumbnail or any of your nails, that means it's got a sharp edge on it.
And every time he did that, he's pulling some of his nail shavings off of that edge.
Right.
I can see it. You guys can't see it.
You guys can't see
Yeah.
it, but it's there.
Yeah.
So that's really the way you can tell if a tool is sharp.
So either way.
But that's something I learned 60 years ago as a machinist. I used to run milling machines and jig bores and lathes, and that's how we always checked if a tool was sharp by just running it across the nail.
So that being said, do we have any questions? Okay, so yeah, now you need to do your little thing there, Dad.
Yeah, this, by the way, is a diamond hone. If you don't have one of these for touching up your bits before you send them in to us to be to be sharpened, get one of these. It's a diamond hone. You you can find it in our Amazon store. And when this is right now, I've got the diamond plate is gone off of here, but normally this would have a diamond. Excuse me. This would have a diamond hone plate out here. Assuming this is your router bit, okay? This is just a mock-up. But when you're sharpening, you keep your diamond hone, you keep it on the back, on the clearance side, and you keep it flat like that on the clearance side. That that takes all of the old carbide off, brings up new carbide. But the main thing is that you keep it flat. This is flat when you're doing it. If you let it come over, or you do this on the cutting edge, then you're losing the edge on that. So be sure if you're dressing this, be sure that that's flat, and be sure it's flat this way. And that's really all there is to using one of these hones. It's really easy. They only cost about like $15. And this one I used for like 12 or 15 years, something like that. They last a long time.
Okay. Let's,
Sorry about my voice.
Let's do the trivia question.
Okay. So we want to give away one of these hats, either the black one or the blue one. And let's see. I think we did all the stuff. If you guys have got questions on the router
If you
bits,
want to do
ask.
something on that bond, that glue.
We don't have time. We haven't got to any questions yet.
Okay, we'll get to those during the Q&A.
Okay.
All right, so let's do the trivia. Okay, so again, the first person that answers this that Vicky sees, somebody may answer it that Vicky doesn't see, so we want to make that real clear. So the first one that Vicky sees that answers this question correctly will get a choice of either this hat or this one. Well, a new one, not that particular hat. And domestic only. Sorry, international people cost way too much for us to ship them. So the trivia question is, what kind of wood did I use on the countryside wood shop? So that I have said that and showed it probably on the last 4 videos.
Tessa.
Who?
Tessa. Mahogany.
Tessa got it.
Tessa got it.
Congratulations, Tessa. You got a hat coming to you. I think
Send me an email. Let me know what color you want.
you want the blue or the black. Anyway.
And let us know if you want us to sign it.
Oh, we don't want to write on that hat.
Okay, so
Okay.
now.
Anyway, all right. Questions?
Let's see. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Copper Grove, Texas, South Carolina, Nebraska, Missouri, Oklahoma, North Carolina. Several people said Happy Father's Day, Dave and Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Rokon from Brunswick, Canada. Brian
Bob.
Tyrell from LaSalle, Ontario, Virginia. Connecticut. All right, let's see.
Do you see Billy McGee there anywhere? Okay.
Yes, and he's asked a couple of times, how do you keep the nozzle on the Starbond from hardening up? I put the cap back on immediately, but it's still hardened up and I gotta dig it out.
Okay. So I think what's happening there, Billy, because I got your question on my email. I think what's happening is, this is the way the Starbond comes. And you should have 2 of these, which you shouldn't need the second one, but you might. I think what's happening is, when I take the tip off this, I do it with my pocket knife or with some scissors or whatever. I think what may be happening, and this is just a guess, is you're not cutting enough of this tip away. Because I have not had that issue at all. But I take about, somewhere around a 1/2 inch off. So it's a fairly good size hole. But I think if you just take a little bit off and the hole is very, very small, then I think that's maybe what's happening. Again, it's just a guess. But when you make a big hole there, a bigger hole, it always seems to drain back in there. And I've used I've literally used one of these 15, 20 times and just never had an issue.
I've got one I've been using now for a month. Some of my laser stuff.
Now
Every time I squeeze it, I always get a dropout.
Now the cool thing, got these little tiny spouts. I don't know whether these are showing up,
Yeah,
but
they are.
there's a bag of spouts that come with it. So if that hole that you made here is too big for what you're gluing, you can put this spout over the top and then just snip this off. These are a one-time use, as far as I know. I've never reused one of these, but there's a whole bag of them. So for a one-time use, I use this. If I need a really tiny, tiny drop, I throw it away and then put the cap back on this, and it works great.
Okay. George Scott says, are you gonna get winter hats? Those are winter. No, I don't know.
Oh,
what a
like
winter
beanies?
hat-
Beanies?
No, probably with the solid fabric rather than the net.
Oh.
I don't.
The only, right now, these are the only hats that we have. In the wintertime, we may do beanies. I don't know. Or we may do a winter hat. I don't know.
Like
Do we
a
have a
watch cap.
Like a what?
Like a watch cap.
What's a watch cap?
Kind of like that beanie that you wear.
Yeah.
Those are really watch caps from the Navy. That's what they were originally,
Okay.
watch caps.
Tony Alford says, hi from Lake City, Florida. Did Eric test the torch on resin floor to prevent bubbles? We did not use a torch. We used a hot gun or heat gun.
The heat gun.
Um,
Yes, and actually, we've used that for quite a while. We've had a heat gun and used it for quite a while. It's just on this last piece of this mahogany, I was surprised that I got any bubbles, because that's the first time I've got any bubbles with a total boat at all. When I was using like the Built by Stevie sign, if you guys go back a few weeks, when I made that Built by Stevie sign, I was using white poplar. I had 0 bubbles, just none. So I was kind of surprised at the mahogany, but maybe it's something to do with the temperature. I don't know, but something to do with the mahogany and the temperature or whatever caused some bubbles. But
Probably the molecules of mahogany, because you can get Philippine mahogany that actually grows in the swamp that has sand, and it comes up into the pores of the wood, and it'll throw sparks when you're trying to carve it. So
all right, we've got somebody from the UK wanting to know I think he means what's the best wood for outside use. In the UK?
in the UK, I don't know.
anything that grows outside.
Bob Rokon says, do you have any YouTube videos that show the sharpening technique that your dad just showed?
Yes. If you go to that channel search, like I said, we've got a whole bunch of videos on sharpening. Just type in sharpening in that little window, and you'll see all kinds of videos on it.
I made 2 or 3 videos.
And we're gonna do it. We're gonna do another upgrade to that, an updated version of that pretty soon. But as far as best wood in the UK, gosh, I know guys use spruce. They use different. I just don't. I'm not privy to exactly what's available in the UK. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, we'll go one more question. Bob Mulch says, why is my 611 heating up so quick? Brushes are good.
Bob, those little routers just run hot. I don't know how long you're running it before it gets hot, but I literally, when I was carving with them up in Oatman, I literally had to buy moleskin. And if you don't know what moleskin is, look it up. But it works really good. So because this was, if I would touch the side of the housing with my finger, it literally would burn me until I use this moleskin on the outside, and it stays on forever. So if you have issues with that,
And if you're doing a lot of real heavy cleanup work, they're not really designed for real heavy work. They're designed for light trim work.
and not really heavily, not for a lot of prolonged use. But if they get hot on
Thank
you,
you, Matt.
try moleskin. What's that?
Just said thank you to Matt.
Oh, try moleskin. That worked great for me when I was in Oatman.
I sneeze and blushing. The answer to the question was mahogany.
Yep,
Okay. All right, that's it. Wrap it up.
that's it. No more questions.
You'll have to answer the other questions.
That was too fast. We're going to have to go longer.
Okay, so if I didn't answer your questions, email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com, and I will get to them. I always do. That's what I do. So email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com, or vicky@davesigns@gmail.com. I can give you Dad's address, but he won't answer you, so it won't matter.
I'll just forward it to him.
Davesigns.com. That is it. So Monday's video is going to be another large sign carvers of the day. Some really spectacular stuff on there. You guys will definitely want to see that. Wednesday we'll be doing another demo. Friday we'll be right back here. So thanks again,
A
guys,
lot of people saying Happy Father's Day because that's this weekend.
and happy Father's Day to all you guys out
Renee
there.
says Happy Father's Day, Daddy and Ricky.
Happy Father's Day to all the daddies
Thank you,
out there.
darling.
Happy Father's Day to Steve up there in Alaska. So, that's it, guys. We love you. Thank you so much. And let us know if you have questions. We're here. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.